Hello, everybody, and welcome to SpeedGaming. We've got A Link to the Past Randomizer League. This is the Light World Conference Finals, Game 2, between Team Kappa and Kinda Rando Retired. Team Kappa has 1 win under their belt. They need 2 more to claim the conference championship in this round. We've got FEARAgent and Kyong. And joining me in the commentary booth is... My mind is out of control. Is Mind of Me. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I have something to do with that. This is the power player. So the higher seed had the choice. As a result of, even though they had identical records in the regular season, Team Kappa was the lower seed. So FEARAgent vetoed Swordless. So therefore, Kyong has chosen a standard, all dungeons, assured sword, key sanity seed.
Settle in, everybody. It's going to be a long, wild one.
Absolutely. So Kyong had actually, since he's the power player, he had also had the higher seed in a previous race against Zero Rush, had also picked all dungeons, key sanity.
We should be getting underway quite momentarily.
Absolutely, and we are underway. And yet, there was a little bit of discussion. Link to the Past is the one Zelda game where the power is actually blue. It is red in every other game.
That hint, that uncle comment threw me off a bit. I was like, this isn't Ambrosia, but he's saying bootsless until boots. I was like, oh, that's right, yeah. It's kind of confusing there. So standard seed means we have the standard escape sequence.
It's an option for our runners to show off their NMG prowess. We are starting with a sword, so the uncle does weapon. Instead, he gives us 50 rupees. But going through escape with your sword, you're going to be looking and checking the prize pool, hoping for bombs, or maybe bombs in a lucky chest.
Getting a bottle early is nice. They can do Sick Kid first trip in Kakuga Village. And yes, chat, the veto was for swordless. So no swordless.
Unfortunately, the guards do not have bombs in their prize pack. Do have hearts and fairies, though. Not necessarily in our escape, though. Oh, no, wait, sorry. There is an 8-bomb pack in there, so they just have to kill enough guards, and they will get a bomb pack regardless, which will be enough to open the back of escape and have a few bombs left over for Kakriko.
Indeed, which is extremely convenient, being able to do back of escape on your first trip through it. Look at Medora.
Medora is an interesting find. I don't imagine that our runners are going to follow it right away, but we may see an early head check. I would highly doubt that we're going to see a trip to desert early. Oh, Kyong hoping that those bombs aren't going to despawn by the time he kills the Bloomerang guard.
Right. Or, just pick up bombs in the chest. That'll work too.
Okay. You know what? That's fine. Now they've got a full 10 pack of bombs. We'll have more than enough for anything they require. And Kyong showing that NMG experience, leading FEARAgent by a couple of seconds, going down towards Zelda Cell.
Think about getting the bomb pack in the Oh no! FEARAgent took a death!
Oh! He's going to feel awful about that. He's going to feel so behind because now that's the full trip through escape.
Yes!
And knowing what he knows about Kyong's execution, rando routing, and everything, we'll have to see if FEARAgent decides to do some low percentage plays later to try to make up that time.
Yeah, it is early in the match. We have all dungeons key sanity, so there's plenty of time to make up ground, but that is not how you want to start this off.
It looked like he was going for the fighter sword slashes similar to Kyong. It is faster than grabbing the pots for the guard, but if you're a little bit off on that your timing, that ball and chain guard can wreck you.
Indeed.
Alright, Kyong making his way back through escape with Princess Zelda in hand. We do see that Team Kappa is up 1-0. The Wisdom players played earlier today in the Ambrosia Seed, and Team Kappa took the win thanks to 1-up.
FEARAgent doing the safer strat with at least one jar to get a... There we go.
Did get that Sewer's key in Zelda's chest. We'll see what kind of item we get here in Dark Cross, as well as a 3 in back of escape.
And we'll never have to worry about escape again. Ooh, half magic is very nice.
Always good to find early. It'll help if we decide to maybe use some fire rod strats to take things out, but we don't have anything to use that magic at the moment. Alright, last 3 in the back of escape. Let's see what that bomb pack is going to gift us today.
100 rupees, 10 arrows, and a small key to Ganon's tower.
Alright, nothing critical in there. As this is all dungeons, the Ganon's Tower small keys may come into play later if we need to full clear the basement looking for something. All dungeons, of course, means that we have to clear all 10 Light and Dark World dungeons, as well as both Ganon's Tower and Aghanim's Tower.
And a compass in the sanctuary. So at 6 minutes 10 seconds, Kyong leaves the escape sequence.
And about to continue the rest of his Sphere 1 checks. Again, as this is Key Sanity, we're not likely to see a map check, as we have not picked up any maps yet. And since it's all dungeons, it really doesn't matter what the pendants and crystals are. All we care about is the green pendant and potentially the 5-6 crystal.
Right. Kyong doing Lost Woods checks. Maybe we'll do pet check just to be sure, but since he has to do all dungeons anyway, it's kind of neither here nor there. Pendants have to be done regardless.
Exactly, and if something important is gating progression that's on the pedestal, you'll find it out early enough if you're getting all those keys and items to clear your pendant dungeons.
Oh, that's an early fire rod.
Alright, speaking of things that are useful with that half magic, and Kyong is going to go and show us what's on the pedestal and see if we need to prioritize those pendant dungeons.
Couch cash.
As per usual, the ped offers nothing but disappointment, whether you need it or not. Alright, 7 minutes 42 seconds. FEARAgent clears his escape.
A really good time
behind.
considering it's a really good time considering he had to go all the way back down to the basement. So a minute and 40 seconds behind is really good time to make up for that.
And you can tell right away he is looking for divergence and something that is going to give him the edge. He knows he's behind with Kyong. is going to go straight to the South Shore route, and will be skipping out on both the fire rod and that hook shot.
Yes. Key to Garen's tower again. And the lamp.
Okay. Lamp will give us an extra chest in Eastern, of course. FEARAgent may also decide to go towards Desert Palace with that book, do the low percentage play of going to Agina and get whatever's in the map chest as well as what's on the desert ledge. But Kyong getting that Master Sword and the boots, this is not going to pay out for FEARAgent. Kyong now with a huge advantage early.
Yes. Kakuku Village is loaded today.
I don't blame Fear for doing this kind of move when he knows that the death in Escape put him quite behind.
Indeed.
But the standard routing through Kakariko is really giving Kyong all sorts of items.
Oh, the bow in Mini Moldorm Cave for Fear. And the Moon Pearl. With the mirror and chicken hut. Wow, Sphere Zero is just giving us everything so far.
It really is. Although with the items that we have, there's nothing in particular that's leading it to us. Perhaps Desert, though, with the boots now and a fire source, we're only a glove and a big key from being able to clear Desert.
Right.
But other than that, nothing in particular leading us up the mountain. We're still a flute or a glove away from that. We don't have anything for flippers checks. Won't be able to full clear Desert. Won't be able to full clear Eastern. Those boots locking some kind of small key.
Turtle Rock.
Alright, we're going to be a little ways away before that comes into play.
Looks like FEARAgent's going to fake Flipper. With that Moon Pearl, he can do Waterfall Fairy out of logic. While Kyong is doing a blind run of the race game, see what's at the end of it. And it's Bombos Medallion.
Okay, you know what? That's not a bad find. FEARAgent gonna skip Hobo, gonna go straight for Waterfall, and with the bow and bombs, can set up and still a fake flipper to get the item on the Zora ledge if it's anything useful. One thing that the Master Sword may lead Kyong to do, although not now that he has the mitts, or the glove.
Yeah, he got the glove.
I was going to say that Master Sword may open up the first check in Aga's Tower, but now with Dark Mountain access, and with the mirror and hookshot, Death Mountain's full clearable, gonna do that, but with a quick look at Lumberjack Ledge.
Right. Just a heart piece, so Lumberjack is not necessary.
FEARAgent using the water walk to go towards Hobo, unfortunately does not have those pair of boots from Kakariko.
Yeah, he needs to get over the Kakariko ASAP to get those boots at the very least, and everything else.
I mean, you just have to look at the trackers here to see the difference. But
yes.
Fear will be going into Kakariko shortly. I don't imagine that he's going to go to Desert.
Kyong gonna go check out East Death Mountain while FEARAgent makes his way to Kakariko Village.
Well, will get all the bevy of items in there. With the Moon Pearl and the bow, I don't imagine it's going to cause him to make too many other choices. He might decide to go to Sahasrara and Eastern and just hope that he finds a French vanilla big key over there to clear that dungeon. But I imagine he'll likely follow into Kyong's routing.
Skullwood's small key in the bottom section of Paradox Cave.
On to Paradox 5 with the mini Moldorms.
300 rupees, 3 bombs, 50 rupees, magic powder, and the Titans. Okay. Okay.
Wow. That's amazing. So Kyong's gonna go route this into Spiral Cave, and I imagine check Dark Death Mountain right now. Why not? You can do Super Bunny, you can do Hook Shot, you can scout what our Turtle Rock Medallion's going to be, and do we need to get what's on Floating Island? Possibly. It's a small key.
Yep, and he has the mirror, so why not?
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the Moon Pearl, as FEARAgent was the one who grabbed that first. So he could check Super Bunny. That. He could do a actual Super Bunny cave. But opts not to. Alright, I think this is going to be King's Tomb for Kyong. And FEARAgent now finding everything that he missed in Kakariko by opting for South Shore first. I can't imagine this feels great for FEARAgent. FEARAgent has a very good execution, but he knows that Kyong's execution is amazing, and he's going to be hoping probably for some major advantage in order to make up the time here.
Exactly. Kyong now doing his South Shore checks.
Yeah, will be rewarded with the Moon Pearl, which he'll feel really good about. Then I imagine it'll be back up the mountain for him. Not sure if he'll do, Hera and Ether Tablet before Dark Death Mountain. We'll have to see. Kyong also has the option that he would be able to clear Hera with the Hera pot, although he would be leaving both the Hera big chest and the Hera basement chest.
Right.
I think if he had one of the Hera keys, he would be less likely to do Hera. But if you're missing both of the Hera keys, it probably seems fine, since you're going to be leaving 2 items behind.
Kyong gets his bow and Moon Pearl. While FEARAgent is doing his race game for the Bombless Medallion.
With Kyong making his way over to Ice Rod Cave, will likely set up a water walk. Although could potentially just save and quit out of Ice Rod Cave as well. He does have the Zora money to take care of that, and Zora would be in logic with that glove.
Right. Now, FEARAgent needs to do Bonk Rocks in order to get that glove. And then head up Death Mountain to Paradox Cave. And he's not going to Bonk Rocks right now.
And Kyong did set up the water walk, and is not going to do a stored water walk, is just going to use that to get as quickly as possible to the Zora area, or to Hobo. And here we go, yeah.
Sorry, go on.
FEARAgent is doing the desert play.
Just bombs on the ledge.
So something that would be really nice for FEARAgent right now would probably be a hammer.
Absolutely, because that's the only thing they're missing for Dark World access right now.
Well, they do have Dark World access via the Titan's
Titan's
Myths.
Myth. Yeah, of course. Through that one portal in Kakariko, yes.
But yeah, hammer would give him a lot other options, but all he's going to get is a pod key unless there's something on the torch for him. Oh, no. Desert a bust for FEARAgent is going to hope for something on Agena. Although it looks like he's setting up to steal the key. Nope, is going just right over to Agena.
Well, he needs the glove anyway, so...
Oh, that's right. Ah, my bad.
Kyong gonna give us the Zora check.
Alright, let's see if FEARAgent is going to have to double dip this area.
Nope. It's just a map. Oh, big key of Ganon's tower at Agena.
Okay. That's probably not something Kyong is going to be missing for a while. It would have to probably rely on Kyong for getting that, and unfortunately Kyong missed that. And Scylla set up to splash delete will have to come back to the Zora area to get that small key.
So Kyong returns to Death Mountain, most likely to go to the Dark Death Mountain to do the Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny checks now that he has the Moon Pearl. Green Pendant is in the Tower of Hera.
Okay. That'll be neat for Kyong.
Oh, and Flipper's in Saha's closet.
Alright, that puts that extra pod small on Zora ledge in logic. Flippers hadn't led to anything else yet. But Kyong will likely do Hera after doing these Dark Death Mountain checks, and he'll be nicely rewarded when that green pendant drops down, and he'll be able to turn that in along when he's doing his Eastern Palace plays.
So, to chat, Kyong got the Power Glove in Bonk Rocks, like the Sanctuary, and Titan's Mitts were in Paradox Cave.
And FEARAgent is prioritizing some less obvious checks, like doing Eastern before those boots checks. FEARAgent took an unfortunate death in the escape. This was a standard start, and he died at Zelda's cell.
Big Key of Thieves Town and Hookshot Cave is a very nice find.
Alright, that'll be...
There's nothing else.
Alright. Well, that is another item or another dungeon that Kyong will be able to clear, and we'll be able to see what this small key was on the floating island. Both Team Kappa and Kinda Rando Retired were at the top of their divisions with 13-1 records. And it's not surprising that they are meeting in this Light World Finals. It is indeed Bombos for Turtle Rock, so once we get that hammer and Cane of Samaria, we could start to explore the dungeon.
Looks like there's a big key inside Spectacle Rock.
Worth the check. If this is the Hera big key, Kyong is going to feel very rewarded for doing this check before entering Tower of Hera. FEARAgent doing this last check in Eastern Palace. 300 rupees for Zora, but nothing else. And that's the big key to Turtle Rock. Alright, Fear now, with his boots, likely on his way to Bonk Rocks, will grab his glove, head up the mountain, and lead his way to his Titan's Mitts.
Right. Good, there he goes. Awesome.
Again, this isn't a bad play, and the desert and eastern checks were good choices by Fear. They're item dense, and Bonk Rocks, was really just the one check in the area. He had no idea that that was going to lead to his Death Mountain access. It could have just as easily been 20 rupees, and the progression could have been in desert or eastern.
Ooh, Desert Palace small key on the Ether tablet.
Alright, that's another 2 checks for Kyong to make in the desert area. So very much less likely that Kyong is going to forget about Agina and not grab that Ganon's Tower big key.
And there's a tempered sword in Tower of Hera. Very nice find. Oh, okay.
Oh no. So Kyong will be able to full clear desert when he goes there.
Oh wow, that Herapot clip was done nicely well.
Yes. Doing a hook speed or any kind of spin speed to set up the Herapot is one of the better ways to set it up if you're used to controlling Link with that kind of motion. Makes it a bit easier to set up the pixel. Ooh, but Kyong missing the bumper skip. Bounce down the whole...
FEARAgent in Paradox Cave now, about to get his Titan's Mitts. While Kyong climbs to the top of Tower Hera to take on everyone's favorite worm.
Alright, this is our first of the 12 dungeon bosses we're going to see this seed.
And Moldrum doesn't stand a chance with Tempered Sword.
No, indeed. Kyong gets a vanilla heart. Actually, that was the Sank heart. Okay. And the green pendant.
FEARAgent now has his Titan's Mitts.
And with the Moon Pearl in hand, we'll be able to combo this with Dark Death Mountain checks. Get that extra pod key off of Floating Island. And the Sank heart is the Sanctuary heart. In the vanilla game, it's the one you get in that chest behind the old man in Zelda. It is a special heart because it fully refills your health. The other heart containers in the game drop from dungeon bosses, and the trigger that refills your health is the pendant or crystal cutscene. But since with that heart container you don't get a cutscene, it's programmed to fully refill your health when you pick it up. Alright, Kyong, gonna go and clear Skull Woods. This seems absolutely logical at this point.
Indeed, especially that early Fire Rod.
And
FEARAgent's clearing Dark Death Mountain at this moment, finishing up Super Bunny Cave.
And there's an informal poll in chat about whether or not Kyong will finish Thieves Town. It is a valid question.
Right, because without the hammer or small key, you don't want to have to risk double dipping without the hammer for that big chest.
We've already seen our pet check early. Kyong's not going to bother mirroring, and with tempered, half magic, and fire rod, I don't imagine he's going to have any issues with this Mothula fight either. Great movement through the Gibdo room.
FEARAgent picks up his big key of Thieves' Town in Hookshot Cave and is now going to go get his pod small key off the floating island. And down goes Mothula in a blink of an eye.
Ooh, and there's our first of 2 castle tower keys, and we have our second pendant. That was an amazing moth fight. Normally it takes 8 tempered swings to take down Moth, but Kyong, with doing some strategic dashes, managed to double hit the Moth with that hitting the 4 tempered swings. I'm sorry. It's 8 Master Sword swings. Gets a double hit with when you bounce off the rock at the top. And can take a leisurely stroll through the rest of Skull Woods to see what other goodies are in here.
FEARAgent jumping into Tower of Hera.
Alright, I'll likely pick up that Turtle Rock big key on his way out. No Skullwood's big key for Kyong. Will be leaving this big chest. It's one of the more unfortunate big chests in Key Sanity. This one, the Swamp Palace big chest and the Ice Palace big chest are often items that can get left behind, and it takes a bit of a trek to go and get them.
There was the King of Samaria in Skull Woods on Kyong's side. Meanwhile, FEARAgent executed the Hera pot clip very well, using bonk stress to line himself up.
And Kyong gonna go and do his North Dark World checks. This case being Bumper
Single
Cave, which
arrow.
is the...
And down goes Mordor on FEARAgent's side.
Kyong heads over to Graveyard Ledge. Now, Kyong will have an option here. He could continue along the North Dark World route towards Catfish, Pyramid, and Pod, or could go back to Village of Outcasts.
Another Ganon's Tower small key, this time on the Graveyard Ledge. The seed is kind of screaming an earlier dip of Ganon's Tower, which, I mean, they already have 2 pendants though, so depending on what the 3rd pendant is, it seems unlikely GT would be required before the final pendant, but we'll see.
Very unlikely, I would say. Items that we know we're looking for are the flute, the hammer, the ice rod, and maybe a medallion, as well as a bunch of keys, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna do this full Dark World loop, starting from Village of Outcast and working their way south. With the mirror, this is reasonable, since this is the only portal you can use in the Dark World. It's really the only reasonable route.
Right. Kyong goes into Thieves Town. We'll see if he simply does the front and leaves, or decides to do everything he can but the big chest. Meanwhile, FEARAgent did King's Tomb and is now headed to Kakuga Village.
Yep, likely going to be following in Kyong's footsteps to take care of Skullwoods and then his own Village of Outcasts checks as well as the mirror check. Ooh, speaking of Ice Palace. That is now another completable dungeon, and Kyong is saying, no thanks, I'll come back later with the hammer and that small key.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Kyong now has all 4 Ganon Tower small keys. There's not a 5th one.
Yep. Nope, wow. There are only 4 small keys in the wild. The rest of the Ganon's Tower small keys are under pots or on enemies.
Right. Okay, so yeah, that is really early to have all the GT keys. Or at least knowing where they are, since Kyong hasn't gotten the GT big key yet.
Indeed. At this point, the only things... Well, I mean, it kind of depends on what our last pendant is.
Yeah.
If Myers our last pendant, it could be Flute in there.
That would just
if it's
hurt.
Turtle Rock, it could be Ice Rod. If it's Swamp, it could be that Swamp small key. Or it could be the second Castle Tower key. Alright, FEARAgent on his way to his own Tempered Moth fight.
Kyong picks up the blacksmith. Gonna be doing that, at least part of the blacksmith chain.
With Mirror, I don't see him skipping that, and FEARAgent having a similarly quick moth fight gets that small key and the pen. And Kyong not checking powder at this time.
Yeah. Or the hammer. Oh, well, he can't do hammer plays without the hammer, but...
Yeah. But there's no reason the hammer can't be on bats. So if FEARAgent remembers that check and it does lead to the hammer, that could be a significant advantage for Fear.
K45 has 20 rupees.
And FEARAgent going to find out that the pedestal is not required this seed, even though all 3 pendants will be required to get. And Kyong going to go and set up the follower glitch with the purple chest. As long as you mirror within range of the turn-in for the purple chest, that follower flag doesn't get deleted, and you can turn in the purple chest without having it follow you.
Got our hype cave check, just bombs, rupees, a bottle, cape, and blue mail. So conveniences.
Okay. Maybe we can finally go get that single arrow. Alright. Kyong gonna go mirror right by Gary, turn in the purple chest, followed likely by Bombo's tablet.
Oh, the hammer on purple chest.
Keeps piling on for Team Kappa. I mean, he's going to get FEARAgent will get to that sooner rather than later. He could go off the board and, you know, follow up North Dark World with Catfish Pod, but with only 3 pod small keys and no hammer, that's not very likely.
Kyong making his first trip into Desert Palace, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and with a full set of keys and the boots, we'll be able to full clear this.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see. Other things we're looking for, besides the items that we mentioned, we'll still need Eastern Big, Swamp Palace Small, Thieves Town Big, Misery Mire Big, and of course that second Castle Tower key. We'll also potentially need 1 more Turtle Rock small key. So if you're FEARAgent, probably still feeling a little bit behind with that early play. Your divergence to do South Shore early did give you the Moon Pearl slightly earlier, but other than that, not a lot. What do you think that FEARAgent might have in mind?
I'm not sure at this point. I mean, he knows he has to double dip back into Desert Palace since he did it once and now he has all the keys.
But he is going for the back of Thieves Town.
Oh, okay. This is one thing Kyong did not do.
I mean, on the one hand, you're only leaving 1 item behind, but on the other hand, you're leaving an item behind.
In the worst spot of Thieves Town.
Yeah, good point from Act in chat. If you get hammer, you can just hammer and the small key. You can do it with hammer pegs at that point. So right now in Kyong, the Village of Outcasts area, he has hammer pegs as well as this Thieves Town small chest.
Right. So if I'm not mistaken, there was nothing really of note in Desert Palace other than the small pot key?
That was about it, unless there's something here on Lanmo.
Ooh, single cycle and molas. And a crystal. First crystal of the game, I think.
That is indeed the first crystal of the game. FEARAgent didn't see anything good in the attic, but we get a shovel of unknown value here in the Maiden Cell. And he is indeed going to get that Ganon's Tower big key.
There we go.
And FEARAgent going to give us some more info in terms of not only the item on blind, but if Thieves Town is our last pendant or if it's a crystal.
Just a heart piece, and oh, it's the 3rd pendant.
Okay. So that gives us all of our pendant and crystal information. Kyong is going to go and tell us which one of those crystals are the 5-6 very shortly.
And that means when they get to Ganon's Tower, they could just run straight up the gauntlet.
Assuming that the castle tower small key isn't missing yet.
That's right. Castle Tower. That's the only thing left that GT could possibly block.
Yep. And our 5-6 crystals are Eastern Palace and Ice Palace. So we are just the Eastern Big Key from being able to clear that.
Kyong giving us a pyramid check.
Pyramid check, and we'll probably mirror into Aga Tower to check the 2 chests in there.
Just a map on the pyramid ledge, and yes, he is going to dip Castle Tower.
With that one small key, we can get both of the chests in here. Again, since this is all dungeons, we will have to clear this eventually with the second castle tower key, but ideally you can do that right after Aga 2, since it's a quick mirror once you've finished Ganon's tower.
That was red mail in the first chest of Castle Tower. And second chest is a red rupee.
Okay, nothing in there, and FEARAgent is about to go visit Stumpy and check on that shovel that he got from the back of Thieves Town. And yet does not have the purple chest in tow, or the smith is leaving that behind for now. So we'll be putting off his hammer.
Yep. He picks up a map.
Alright, Kyong, making his way into Pod, will also be able to get his flippers from the back of Saha and turn in that green pendant from Harry.
FEARAgent getting his red crystal information, while Kyong gets the flippers, and the green pendant turn-in was just a piece of heart.
Alright, going into Pod with 3 small keys and the big key. We'll see Kyong probably prioritize a route through Pod that avoids opening the middle door. With 3 small keys, you're going to be leaving behind one of Harmless Hellway or the Vanilla Big Key chest.
Right.
If he decides to go straight to Helmasaur. Otherwise, he'd be able to open up both of those, but would have to come back with another small key in order to defeat Helma.
FEARAgent going to check the Bombos tablet. Needs to go back and do Blacksmith Chain to get that hammer.
And yeah, good point coming up in chat that he may be avoiding the Blacksmith Chain since he'd like the hammer to do hammer pigs at that time. But he's going to be running low on locations, going back into Desert, however, to clear this. Kyong would love to find an extra Pod small key in here. Oh. That's an even better find, though. That big key to Eastern.
Yeah, but as soon as he does whatever he can in here, it's straight off to mirroring the Eastern Palace. Oh, and it looks like he's going to do the boss of Desert of Pod right now.
I don't mind that. That way, when you find the other Pod small keys, if they're required, you know they're only gating items. And not also the crystals. And yeah, you can do Helma, mirror into Eastern, clear that. Maybe you find some extra Pod small keys. Maybe you find the flute. And Kyong is just incredibly good at this game, both in terms of execution and in routing choices. Although Kyong is also quite thorough because he knows he has a strong execution advantage. He feels like he can avoid, taking risks. And no trouble at all taking care of Helmasaur.
FEARAgent making his way to the back of Desert Palace. And yeah, Kyong's gameplay here has been top-notch, both in terms of routing and execution. Like, almost, other than having to go up Death Mountain twice because of the Moon Pearl being in South Shore, it's been almost pretty much flawless.
And even with that, I would say getting the glove right there at Bonk Rocks, it just made sense at that time. It's like, hey, I've got lamp, I've got glove, I've got hookshot, I've got mirror, let's go up the mountain.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Alright, we saw these Eastern checks earlier from Kyong. The only new ones will be the Big Chest and Armos Knights themselves.
Right.
FEARAgent getting his first crystal out of Desert Palace. And as to how much the death in the escape is changing Fear's routing, Fear does like to take a couple of quote-unquote gambles, may do some lower percentage plays when he knows he's up against an execution-heavy runner like Kyong, but I think he is feeling even more pressure to make those kinds of plays with that death.
Alright, about to get the big chest check right now. Or, okay, and it's just a piece of heart. FEARAgent gonna check Bumper Ledge and Graveyard Ledge. Still needs to go back to Outcast to get that hammer off the purple chest.
And maybe we'll get the mystery check of whatever that powder may lead to. And it's entirely possible he may decide to go and continue this North Dark route, go over to Catfish, and then check Zora, since he never got a chance to pay off the Scamfish earlier.
Right. Kyong finishes the front of Eastern Palace, gonna head to the back to take care of the Armos Knights. Alright, FEARAgent, go left. Go left. That is not left.
Nope, he is going to do the Catfish play into Zora, into Pyramid, into Pod.
Which makes sense. It's just not what he needs to do right now.
And that's where we're sitting, high on our pedestal, so to speak, as commentators. But when you're sitting in the hot seat as a runner, this makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Kyong going for that quick kill and gets it. Almost Knights are down.
Only a whole 20 rupees, but getting that first 5-6 crystal, and the second 5-6 crystal is just a swim to Ice Palace away.
Catfish was just a piece of heart, and FEARAgent about to get scammed by the scammer.
Alright, Kyong opening that middle door is going to make his way down to the Stealthos basement and then likely go check the back with Harmless Hellway and leave the vanilla big key chest for now. Or, sorry, not Harmless Hellway. We have to use that small key to get to the back. So in terms of things that we still have to look, we still have Magic Bat, we still have Ice Palace, and we have the first chest of Swamp and Spike Cave. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Oh yes, and Hammer Pegs.
Oh, of course. And the Magic Bat. I don't remember if you said that or not.
I did.
Okay, good.
I've had that on my mind ever since Kyong decided to do... I mean, it makes sense that Kyong decided to do a Dark World route instead.
Right. Oh, looks like Kyong's gonna go for Hammer Yump here.
Yep, unsurprisingly, going to do the Hammer Yump, a double pixel perfect setup. And FEARAgent also going to go and make the play to mirror into Aga Tower and get the 2 checks there. And this is not going to be an Ice Rod Hunt Seed. There it is in the Dark Mesa Pod.
Awesome. And Quake. Still looking at a possible Castle Tower Key hunt.
Yeah, Castle Tower Key, Misery Mire, Big Key, and one more Turtle Rock Small and a Swamp Palace Small.
Right.
But this is the Ice Palace play for Kyong. Alright. Into Ice Palace, full clearable for Kyong, and FEARAgent is making his way to Pod with only 3 small keys and no hammer. It's yeah, unfortunately there's not much else Fear can do. He knows at this point that if it's on purple chest, he's absolutely lost. You know, the death earlier and escape, that was recoverable from, but now he knows that if hammer is on smith chain, it's so far out of the way now.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go set up Icebreaker using the Samaria block to manipulate Link to being in the door state, and you just auto walk right through that block.
Another bottle in Ice Palace. FEARAgent doing what he can in Pod now. Oh, big key to Hera in Ice Palace.
Okay, that opens up one more check in Hera on the mountain, as well as a bunch of checks that we can do on Turtle Rock, and Kyong gets that stair clip. Very nicely done. Still need one more Turtle Rock Small to clear it.
What is FEARAgent trying to trigger?
He is trying
Oh.
to hover across the gap. To save a little bit of time from having to do the bow side.
Right. Oh, man.
Oh, and there's the flute.
In Ice Palace for Kyong. The seed just gives and gives and gives for him today. His routing is just on point.
I mean, his execution is on point. His routing has paid off. But when you're clearing everything and you're making it a priority to clear the dungeons that you've already that you know you can full clear, it's a solid plan, and he's not getting randoed. The seed could easily have just been that, you know, the progression was in weird one-off locations like Spike Cave, but no such luck. Kyong can seem to make no mistakes. And getting the perfect grouping on stair. Oh, you love to see it. That's a beautiful thing.
So, Ice Palace is down. That was the big key of Skull Woods, so we have another big chest accessible now.
Alright, and that is the second 5-6 crystal for Kyong. Starting from Link's house, likely the big bomb. I don't imagine he's going to check first chest of Skull Woods just yet. FEARAgent showing us that Harmless Hellway was just arrows.
Oof.
So then the only decision is if Pyramid Fairy doesn't lead to anything in particular, do you prioritize Death Mountain rechecks or Mire? For Death Mountain, we can check the one chest in Tower of Hera, and we can clear most of Turtle Rock, but we're lacking one small key.
Right.
Area, we still need that Mire big key and potentially the Ether medallion to clear it. But it would be good information to have. So what do you think? Sounds better, Ricky?
I would go to the Mire area. Just because you could do Checkerboard Cave, the Mire Shed, and at least see what Mire's medallion is. And if you can get into Mire, maybe just go ahead and go inside Mire, because with it being Key Sanity, all the chests are going to be valuable, potentially.
Potentially. You still do need the big key to get to the back, though.
Yes, yes. But given the choice between not being able to finish Turtle Rock or not being able to finish Mire, I would risk a double dip of Mire before Turtle Rock.
That's a good call, I think. I'm gonna go grab that pod key, although Kyong doesn't know it's a pod key. For all he knows, that's his Swamp Palace small key. And yes, the flute was in the iced tea room in Ice Palace. So FEARAgent would be able to get that flute without the hammer if he decided to go into Ice Palace.
And also, just to let the chat know, the tracker is eating inputs right now, which is why Ice Palace is not lit up on Kyong's side. We're just waiting for the thing to reset itself.
Alright. Kyong gonna activate his flute. Probably going into Mire. And FEARAgent starting at Sanctuary. I imagine this is going to be Smith Chain for him. He could have gone into Hammerless Ice Palace, but that's awful. He could have gone into Hammerless Swamp Palace without any small key. Oh, I think Kyong is gonna go and do Thieves Town, Hammer Pegs, and Magic Bat.
Didn't he?
He's got the big key for Skullwoods now.
Oh, of course, yes. Alright, good. FEARAgent is doing Blacksmith Chain. Gonna get that, well, should get the hammer shortly, as long as he doesn't, skip on the... Oh, that was the Butter Sword.
Okay. I mean, as soon as we got Tempered Sword,
yeah,
the Ganon fight was pretty much, it was like, it's fine. At this point, Butter Sword is the biggest luxury there is.
Yeah, and with these bosses we have left, I mean, Trinix is the only one that it makes a noticeable difference, and even then...
Vidi is kind of nice if you don't have silvers.
This is true.
Alright, Pegs and Bat, and FEARAgent is gonna go and check Magic Bat. Is this maybe the Swamp Small?
Nope. Just bombs.
Utter garbage. But FEARAgent is on his way to get his hammer.
Good.
And this will be a flute to 6 for Kyong after getting his pack of bombs from the bat. Alright, we're at an hour 6 mark into this All Dungeons Key Sanity Seed. This is the Blue Pendant Power matchup in the Late World Conference Finals of the ALTTPR League between FEARAgent, representing Team Kappa, and Kyong of Kinda Rando Retired. The winner of this matchup will meet the winner of the Dark World Conference in the League Finals. Right now, Team Kappa is up 1 race to none. The Wisdom players met earlier today in an Ambrosia seat. And we would invite you to hit the !R in the chat, get the runners' Twitch links, give them a follow, and see all sorts of fantastic content on their Twitch channels.
FEARAgent going into Swamp Palace while Kyong does the back of Thieves Town. Still can't do the big chest because he doesn't have that small key. But at this point, like, the only thing that big chest could have that would be devastating is either the Swamp Palace small key or the Castle Tower small key.
Could have the Misery Mire big or another Turtle Rock small.
True, true.
And FEARAgent is in Ice Palace. Now that he has the hammer, this will be full clearable, will be rewarded with his flute, as well as the other 5-6 crystals.
Right. Though FEARAgent does have to do a double dip of pod, returning to that area in order to full clear it.
Kyong also has chests left behind in pod. Both runners
That's right.
have
Yeah, we ran out of
the
keys, huh?
vanilla. Yeah, they both have the vanilla big key chest remaining. Grabs that shovel. FEARAgent doing his own icebreaker setup.
Not sure what happened. It looked like he had it, and then it went wrong.
Yeah, and there was a question, Chad, if Kyong could steal the key for the big chest. Technically, yes, but then you can't defeat the dungeon. You wouldn't be able to get to the attic in order to bomb the floor. And that's a really bad play in Thieves Town. It's something you see more often in Desert because there's 2 items locked on the Desert side as opposed to just the one in the Thieves Town big chest.
So all Kyong has left to clear is Swamp Palace, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock, and of course Castle Tower.
Indeed. And the only thing we know for sure is that Swamp Palace small, the Misery Mire big, and the Turtle Rock small cannot be in Ganon's Tower.
Right. He's gonna go use that shovel to dig up his dirty old map.
And then flute to 6. It's got to be a flute to 6.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much full cleared everything he can get to at this point.
I mean, it could be a flute to 1 for Spike Cave, Terabig, and Turtle Rock.
There we go. Though I believe I'm wrong. I think he still needs to do Catfish. But other than that...
No, he did Catfish because then he comboed that in with the Zora Ledge and got
he did?
his,
okay, I missed
with...
that totally.
Alright, we do have the medallion in order to get into Misery Mire. Alright, so now we've got both Hera keys to get those 2 chests.
My favorite moment in All Judges Key Sanity is when I get the small key and I'm like, oh my god, this is the one I wanted. No, it's not.
Definitely would prefer that Swamp Small or the Castle Tower Small at this point. FEARAgent getting his key to the Butter Sword off of Cold Stare. And Kyong making the choice to go into Misery Mire. This could very well be a required double dip mire if our last Turtle Rock small or a mire or the Swamp Palace small is in here and the mire big is on Trinex or in Swamp Palace.
Don't speak that into existence.
I'm just saying that's almost more likely than having a French Vanilla Mire big key at this point. It's just numbers, man. There's more chests outside of Mire than there is inside of it. Alright, FEARAgent is going to do his Pyramid Fairy. He's already cleared Catfish. Do you think FEARAgent would do first chest of Swamp Palace?
At this point, I'm not sure. I mean, he just got the hammer, so I mean, if I was in his place right now, I would do the Pyramid Fairy and then go straight to Pod to at least kill Hemlisar. If he still has the keys for it, though. Did he save a key?
I don't think he saved a key. And did he not grab the flute from Iced Tea? Oh no, he skipped Iced Tea.
Oh no, you've got to be kidding. I missed that totally.
Oh, Fear. Please, we're so sorry.
Yeah, that... I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come back from that one.
And he's only got one Turtle Rock small key. So he won't be able to get to Laser Bridge. Where was the other Turtle Rock small? Was that on Trinet or on Helma?
I don't remember. Oh my goodness!
Never mind me. There we go. French Vanilla Buyer Key in the lobby. This is a clearable dungeon for Kyong.
Wow. FEARAgent going to do Tower of Hera with that
Big key.
big key? Yeah, okay.
It's only got the Hera big chest, does not have the Hera small. There's a second cast tower key, so we're only on the hunt for 2 more small keys. A Turtle Rock small and a Swamp Ball.
And then GT is definitely Gauntlet only then.
Yep. GT, we can climb straight to the top, kill Aga 2, do not stop, do not bonk the torch, do not do tile room. And we're at an hour 15, and just remember, this is all Dungeons Key sanity. This
is nuts. And not only that, but Kyong hasn't really done any skips. So this is pretty much a full clear in an hour and 15 minutes at this point. That's just incredible.
It's absolutely insane. He is 2 small keys from go mode. Things that he has left, obviously, is the first chest of Swamp, Spike Cave, and Turtle Rock. Is that it? Obviously, yeah, the mushroom check, because we haven't found the mushroom, but that's it. He's checked all the tablets, he's done all the other fetch quests, he's cleared all the other dungeons, doing spooky like nobody's business, and we're gonna go have a Butter Sword Vitreous fight as FEARAgent goes into Turtle Rock.
I've got to give chat a shout out for this point that Kyong has been rolling straight natural 20s all night.
It really is. It's like, talk about, perceiving the perfect route through this seed. Okay, first check. So do you check first chest of Swamp before you climb the mountain for Kyong? Yes or no?
Oh, that's a rough one. No, I would climb the mountain. There's more checks. I feel like it'd be a waste of time to do the entire Dark World, Drain Swamp setup.
I mean, the Swamp Palace wall can be vanilla.
This is true, but he is doing the TR play.
Okay. Well, at very least the mountain. He still also does have Smite Cave. And we get a vanilla TR small in TR. So that's the other one. So the only other key we're looking for is a Swamp Small. We would need the 4th TR key if that Swamp Small is in the Turtle Rock Big Chest. Or the Turtle Rock Big Key Chest, the lava chest.
Right, yeah, the lava chest. Alright, Kyong going to jump into Tower of Hera first, check both of the basement and the big key. Big chest. Now I'm doing it. Oh, Swamp Palace is in Turtle Rock!
Okay.
Room.
So as soon as Kyong goes into Turtle Rock, gets to Chomps, he will be in go mode.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know what, doing these checks by Kyong makes perfect sense, because it's on the way over to Turtle Rock.
Absolutely.
The last Turtle Rock key could be in Swamp Palace, which would make TR a logical double dip. But as soon as Kyong gets at Swamp Small, he knows he can steal the key from the lava chest, where FEARAgent is going to be also stealing the key from the lava chest. Okay. I mean, FEARAgent knows that his flute could be in that chest, but he's hoping that it's not. He's hoping he's going to find something else in Turtle Rock that'll help him. And we know he's not at this point. There's nothing else in Turtle Rock that could help him other than perhaps a pod key. And even then, that's not going to help him either. Alright, cutscene done for Kyong, FEARAgent going into Mimic Cave.
Which Kyong probably won't do because he'll be in go mode at this point.
Yeah, he'll be able to go straight past the... Oh, there's our other pod key!
And bottle in Mimic Cave. Oh, Kyong checking Spike Cave.
This is fine. You know, in Kyong's mind, he still does need one more Turtle Rock Small in order to full clear it. And there's a full magic refill right outside Turtle Rock and Super Bunny, so this is a fine check.
Oh, and the
there's
mushroom.
That mushroom. Alright, and Kyong just has a climb up Death Mountain to go into Turtle Rock. As soon as he hits the Chomp's room, he will be in go mode. FEARAgent will be able to finish Turtle Rock since he stole the key from the lava chest. And there's our final pod key. On Laser Bridge.
Misery Mire small key on Laser Bridge.
Misery Mire Small's the least useful small key in the game.
Well, tight competition with Skullwood small keys.
At very least, Skullwood small keys help you route around the front.
True, this is very true.
Misery Mire small keys are utterly useless.
Oh, and the other Turtle Rock small key is in Laser Bridge.
Alright. FEARAgent took the safety door, gonna take on Trinex, then probably go back to the lava chest. I'm gonna go to the fire rod side, to the roller room, and get his third TR small that's required to clear the dungeon. And then in the very next chest, he will get his go mode in terms of the Swamp Palace small key. FEARAgent doing backdoor tempered strats on Trinex. Very nicely done.
Kyong probably feeling very happy fighting that Turtle Rock small key there.
Absolutely. Knows that he will very likely not have to double dip this dungeon. And as soon as he opens the next chest, he'll know for sure he won't. And FEARAgent takes down Trinex gets a small key to Ice Palace.
That's a
Is
lot
that
of
gonna
small
take him
keys
back?
in Turtle Rock.
That is a lot of small keys to Turtle Rock. That's more small keys than you normally find in Turtle Rock.
Yes. And there you have it. Hour 23 minutes, 23 seconds. Kyong is in go mode.
And FEARAgent not going back to the lava chest. Maybe that Ice Palace small key will lead him to Ice Tea for his flute, but I imagine he is going to clear Swamp Palace at this point.
Did he not face Cold Stare the first time? I thought he did Cold Stare.
He did Cold Stare, but he didn't go to Ice Tea to get his flute.
Right, okay, so he just needs to do the final couple checks in Ice Palace.
How did Fear skip Ice Tea? We're not exactly sure. It might have been a calculated risk. We're feeling that Fear probably has felt behind all race with an early death at Zelda Cell. Did some low percentage plays, which unfortunately haven't paid off. Nearly last locationed his hammer. And Kyong is going to go straight to Trinex. Will not be checking Laser Bridge. Will not be checking Crystal Roller Room.
Nope.
Let's see what's in this first chest of Swamp Palace.
Such a... Can you imagine if you had gone in there with, early, hoping that was the small key for Swamp Palace, and it shows you that? It's like, it's such a psych.
It's one of those things when you're playing any kind of Key Sanity or Key Sanity variant and you're looking for that last small key, you hold your breath every time you see a small key pop up. And the anger and the frustration when it's not the key that you want just hurt.
Kyong on his way to Trinex.
And again, we just have to say how incredibly fast this pace is.
Yeah.
Also doing, not surprisingly, with Buttersword doing backstore stracks for Trinex. Very nearly gets a 0 cycle. The Firehead just barely popped out.
Down goes Trinex.
That's crystal number 6 for Kyong. Gets that Ice Palace small. Mirror, flute to 7. Or like 4, rather. I know what flute spots. I definitely don't flute to 7 when I want to go to Swamp Palace and have to run up. Definitely never have to do that every single time. Kyong, being a much better player, flutes to 4 to prepare for this Swamp Palace play. FEARAgent has skipped left-hand side for now, but is setting up for the diver down to save a little bit of time.
Finds the Ether Medallion in the flooded chest, but no need for that.
No. We'll take care of Argus first, but...
Ooh. Silvers are nice. Not, at this point in the game, but they're nice.
And you know what? Kyong with Buttersword, even though that chest is literally right along the way, I don't think he's going to pick that up.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But on the other hand, he probably feels really good about his routing. He might feel like he's got a couple of seconds to spare. Fear doing some dash pokes on Argus. Doesn't quite get the 1 cycle on it. FEARAgent very likely dips back into Swamp Palace, check left side, gets a single silver arrow on our guy. And gets his crystal number 5.
Flute is required to get into Misery Mire. Or at least the Misery Mire area to get into the dungeon.
Yep, there is no way around it, and FEARAgent not going back into Swamp Palace. I wonder if
ice.
This is going to turn in the mushroom.
Yeah. I forgot he doesn't have flute, so he can't flute over there.
So this is the next quickest way. Kyong also going to go and do Diver Down at the back here with the Cane of Samaria. Also possible to do this with the bomb setup. Unlike Icebreaker, Icebreaker always requires Cane of Samaria. Diver Down can be done with bombs or Samaria.
And yes, Kyong does skip silvers, but with Butter Sword, it's not a big deal at all.
No, absolutely not. Mushroom, only a piece of heart. Really, the only other item of any kind of value it could be is the blue boomerang or the Cane of Burn.
Yeah, at this point, FEARAgent needs to go back to the Ice Palace. Does he have any other checks to do? Oh, he's heading up to Pod, isn't he?
Yeah, he has Helmasaur to complete, and he also has the vanilla big key chest to check. Probably will do Helmasaur.
And Kyong gets his 7th crystal.
We found the Ganon's Tower big key in Agina's cave, so there will be no chests opened in Ganon's Tower. One more climb up the mountain. But yeah, Red Mail, Butter Sword, Kyong is more than comfortable than doing everything left in the game with this. We'll climb up the Ganon's Tower, defeat Aghanim 2, then do a quick mirror, defeat Aghanim 1, and then go and jump down the...
FEARAgent heading to the back of Pod to take care of Helmasaur King.
In terms of checks that FEARAgent has left, besides Ice-T, he'd be able to grab that Butter Sword from Skullwoods. He could check, I think he's already done Spike Cave. I think that's it. I think it's just getting that flute from Ice-T for FEARAgent.
Hopefully, I mean, at this point, it's pretty much too late, but in order for him to get any progress, he has to go there.
A lot of times, with this kind of thing, you feel happy if you can hit go mode before your opponent dones.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kyong is making his way into the gauntlet. The point of execution in Rando, where you get to show off your movement, your enemy manipulation, and dealing with occasionally misbehaving enemies. And yeah, we are very realistically looking at, less than 145. It's maybe 8 minutes to complete all of Ganon's tower and Aga Tower. Kyong into Gauntlet 2 with the Stalfos. Into 3 with the Blue Zyzax, the Spikes, and the Beamos.
I wish I could clear the Stalfos room that fast.
I know, right? Getting great movements on the Red Zyzax. And one last room in Gauntlet 5 with the Ice. Easy every time, Kyong showing the master of execution as he is. It doesn't quite get the one cycle on the Landmos. And FEARAgent going back into Ice Palace. He knows what he skipped. This was likely... This was absolutely an intentional skip by FEARAgent due to the keys that he had and feeling behind.
Very nice Resort Broom.
Past the collapsing bridge, onto torches number 1. And FEARAgent having all the keys and having already cleared Cold Stare, no need to hit the switch. We'll just go directly to Icebreaker, go directly to Ice Tea. Kyong having all 4 small keys in hand, no need to kill the Mini Helma for another. Kyong gonna skip the magic refill and the health refill. He knows he'll get one on Aga 1, and Moldorm 2 didn't stand a chance.
No, he didn't. Kyong not opening a single chest in GT. Absolutely no point.
That's gonna look good on stats. And into Aga 2. Aga 2 has 3 copies of himself. The copies will always throw reflectable balls. The main Aga has a 50-50 chance to throw blue balls in the same pattern as Aga 1. But you don't need to worry about the lightning cycle at least. And as Aga 2 goes down, FEARAgent grabs his flute, and Kyong, having defeated Aga 2, will now defeat the earlier incarnation of Aga 1 after a leisurely climb up the tower. Just about fell in the hole, but that got the perfect mirror location. That was... I don't think he could be a pixel lower other than falling into that hole. Not that it would have caused a big issue. Could have just... would have caused a little bit of issue. Could have just died again and then mirrored again. That was amazing. That's an experienced hand showing where to mirror. Alright, FEARAgent still on the lookout for that Misery Mire big key, has no idea that it's right there inside Misery Mire. Who would have thought in a Key Sanity Siege you would get a French vanilla big key? That get in the way of the fire rod for Kyong. And Kyong not worried about using up his magic. He will get a full refill after he defeats Aga 1. And will be able to drop down into the Ganon fight with full health and magic, which is one of the major reasons that runners love to be able to do Aga 1 after Aga 2.
Just do a spin dash for, swag.
Why not? We got to show Aga that we're serious here.
FEARAgent entering Misery Mire. And get your guests in chat for the blue ball count.
It'd be nice to have 0. At this point, I just want to see the fastest finish possible, but we're getting a pretty good first cycle here. A perfect 4 for 4. Just need one more reflectable ball, and Aga 1 will be down. Rude. There we go.
And with that, the goal is met. It's time for Ganon.
All dungeons have been defeated. Ganon is now vulnerable. Butter Sword! Needs 6 slashes for phases 1, 6 slashes for phases 2, another 4 hits in phase 3, and then 12 spins in phase 4 with no silver arrows. Ganon, please stop warping. This is not funny, no matter what you think.
He's trying to delay the inevitable.
It's like you're trying to play tag. It's like, haha, you can't touch me.
Oh.
Kyong knows that perfect pixel to stand on to get that fire rod torch glitch. Ganon warps in phase 4 are quite predictable. They're in fact scripted. As long as you do the same thing, Ganon will do the same thing, similar to the blind fight. And FEARAgent just hit his go mode. Got his misery... Oh, he didn't grab his castle tower small, though. He got his misery mire big, and he's going straight to the back.
And Ganon is down. All Kyong has to do is cross the bridge.
And we are on pace for an absolutely amazing Key Sanity All Dungeons run. As Kyong crosses the bridge and gets an official SRL time of, call it...
1 hour, 42 minutes, and 6 seconds.
Get some huge GGs in chat for Kyong of Kinda Rando Retired. Ties the series up.
And FEARAgent forfeits. Unfortunately, but with that kind of gap, it's not a surprise. 1 hour, 42 minutes. That's a good time for an open seed. And this was all Dungeons Key Sanity. Good grief.
Kyong's a beast. That's all we gotta say. And speaking of, we are joined by our runners. GG and well played to both of you. Congrats, Kyong, and our commiserations here.
Yeah, GG. I don't want to take away anything from Kyong. clearing that All Dungeons Key Sanity 142, but I did not play well.
Yeah, I mean, Kyong, it was a seed where you could do no wrong.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy actually. My mindset wasn't really ready for Go mode to happen so soon. It was like, wait. Am I really just this from Go mode at this time? It's like things flowed pretty well overall. Was able to clear the whole overworld fairly efficient and didn't really need to double deep dungeons.
What you have left? Probably just the rest of Turtle Rock and Swamp, yeah? I think you had cleared
Yeah,
literally
and
everything else.
a couple chests in pods, Town big chest, and things like mushroom. But yeah, that's about it.
And Fear, you know what? Dying to the ball and chain guard, it happens, right? You take one bad hit and go in for the fighter sword swings, and I'm sure at that point you knew I'm behind.
I tried not to get tilted, but against a runner like Kyong, I don't have a minute and a half to give. So it was like probably the worst start I could have had. And then, unlike I guess Kyong, every decision I made was the wrong one. So it happened.
Did the death in Escape factor into your decision to do South Shore before Kakuku Village at all?
100%. Every decision I made was factored by that death. I had to. I felt like I had to do some dumbs or make some skips or try to do something to make up time, because how am I supposed to get back a minute and a half? And of course, with All Dungeons Key Sanity, it's hard to make skips because you need so much stuff. That Smith Chain, I was just hoping, I was like, oh, I can probably skip Smith Chain, and I wasn't.
Which normally you can, but this time.
I mean, it had the hammer, but the rest of it was trash. So it was like, I mean, I was kind of right, but it happens.
Yep. You were hoping that make those plays, going the north route to Catfish and Pyramid, diving into Pod without the hammer. It was it's just as easy for Kyong to have got randoed the other way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally. I thought I might find the hammer in Pod because we had 3 keys and the big key. So I don't know. I'm disappointed in myself. Like, this is the conference semifinals, and just to start out like that, I can't. Oh man, just to start out like that was just like I couldn't think of a worse way to start.
Absolutely, but the good news is that it is a best of 5. The series is tied up.
Yeah, so that's 1-1 for both teams in the Light World Conference Finals. Do you know who's going to be facing off in the next match? It's going to be the Courage players, correct?
Yeah, it's Gamma and Framey. So, yeah, I mean, it's not over unless Gamma and 1UP do some carrying. Then that might have been my last match for the league. We'll see if we can. I have faith in Gamma and 1UP. They'll probably be playing games 4 and 5 if we make it there. Shoot, we might just make it to game 4. Gamma just might go 2-0 and we're on. But it's hard. This team is really good, and you can't make mistakes like dying to ball and chain guard. Oh man, like I haven't done that since I can't remember. I just don't know what happened. I lost it, and then it was so hard not to get tilted.
Unfortunately, Kyong, we would have liked to talk to him a bit more. His internet cut out, but we do want to pass on our GGs to Kyong. And yeah, I mean, you didn't play badly, Fear. I mean, after even, the ball and chain guard death, yeah, it's unfortunate, but it can happen. Just got the timing missed on the fighter switch swings. But other than that, you did not play badly. It was just that Rando decided not to Rando this time.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Kyong did this in 142.05. There's a good chance that I don't die to the ball and chain card and I still lose. So, I'm not going to take it too hard. It's friggin' Kyong. So,
Yeah.
I was a big underdog in this race. I know that Kyong is an excellent runner. So, we lost, and we'll pick ourselves up, and hopefully Gamma and 1UP can take us all the way. I just feel we made it here. We're top 4 teams. That's
that's incredible all on its own.
That's absolutely nothing to sneeze at. Finishing the regular season with 13-1, taking on some really top teams in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Team Kappa has plenty to be proud of.
Yeah.
And this round is not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over. My ego couldn't carry me much further than this, but we'll see.
Ego writing checks that your fighter sword can't cash.
That's right.
Well, hopefully we will see you play one more game, but if not, well played this entire tournament, and thanks again for being one of the organizers of this league. And I would encourage you to make sure to give both Kyong and FEARAgent a follow, 2 fantastic runners. And yeah, keep an eye on them. I have a feeling that there's a lot of fun things ahead for these guys.
And for the league, tomorrow night at 5:10 p.m. Eastern Time, over in the Dark World Conference Finals, we have the Fendrana Drifters versus Team Awesome, Frostbite 3030 versus Hitsuyan 1337. That's coming up tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. That team continues fighting it out. And as for you, FEARAgent, I guess your teams are still working on their scheduling?
Yeah, Gamma's a fast runner, but he's not a fast scheduler, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And of course, there will be the game 4 as well to be determined at some time, which will be the your team's choice, with the Kinda Random Retired getting their veto for whichever player gets put forward.
Yeah, I think we haven't talked about it. We talked about it. Well, Gamma and I talked about it a little bit. We haven't talked about it with 1UP yet, but probably be Gamma game 4, and then if it goes game 5, will probably be 1UP. That's my guess, but I make no promises.
All right. Well, GG's once again, Fear. Rando likes to rando. And thanks for joining us for the interview. Again, Once again, be sure to give us both a follow. Be sure to give our tracker Yorker's wife a follow. All Dungeons Key Sanity, lots of buttons to press. She did a great job with that.
And with that, FEARAgent, any last words for this seed?
This seed. That's my last word.
I think that's what everyone says with all the seeds. All right then. Everyone, any last words in mind of me?
I'd just like to remind to follow SpeedGaming 2 through 6 to keep an eye on all of the league action, as well as lots of other content on the SpeedGaming network. I'm sure there's something to pique your interest.
That's right, and all this week we have the conference finals for both the Light World and the Dark World to determine what teams will go on to the league finals next week. So it's all kinds of hype this week for the league. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Ricky of Kokiri. This was with Mind of Me commentating. She did an awesome job. Thank you so much. And the racers did awesome. I put the links in the chat for you all to follow. Hope you all had a great time, everybody. Have a great night.
Later, y'all.